Hello guys, my name is Armin. In today's episode, learning Revit. So we want to start looking into Clash Automation. This is going to be part one. We want to look at how to set up a Clash test. So in order to set it up, you guys need to have a better understanding of what is the appearance profiler, what is the search set, what is find objects. We have previous videos. Please go back, check those videos, understand the process, because you need to apply all of those previous knowledge and learnings to these part one in order to set up the settings. Because right here we're gonna set up the issue automation, we're gonna set up our priorities for grouping, we're gonna set up our views and screenshot and everything that you need to set up your Clash tests. So without further ado, let's jump into Revit so we can start putting together our setup for Clash tests.
In today's episode, Learning Revit, we take a look at Clash Automation. This is going to be part one. We're going to put together a Clash test. I want to walk you through all the main steps that you need to put it together. We go through all the features and kind of together we're going to understand what's the best practices. Before we start the process, I want you guys to go back and make sure you understand the previous videos that we did on object tree, we did on properties, we basically did on find object, search sets, and appearance profilers, and then the template. So these are very, very important because we did talk about this for the Clash automation. You have to have a great search set because we push everything through Revit. The models are Revit. So we need to create proper sets in order to have a very accurate and efficient Flash automation process. Plus, Appearance Profiler is going to help you to see the clashes in any way that you like to see. If you want only see it, let's say in a wide mode, isolation mode, more transparency, and much more. So the kind of prerequisite for Clash automation, it has to be object three properties, search set, appearance profiler, and find objects. Because with the Clash automation is the place that we kind of put all of this that we learned, kind of put them together and apply. So if you haven't seen those, please go back, look at those actual videos on every single of those, putting your sets together, and we kind of come back to this video to look at the clashes. So let's say right now we want to go through the clashes. So the clash detection, the automation is basically is right here. It's on the 3D. As always, you only find it on the 3D mode because that makes more sense. You want to see the 3D objects. You want to clash 3D objects together. You cannot find it on the issue tracker or the 2D, right? So right here, I'm gonna head on the Clash automation. It's gonna open a box for you. Well, and then this one right now, we're gonna go through it and we kind of start putting clashes together. The first item that you see right here on top is new clash test. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on this one and I walk you kind of through of what we have, how we kind of put it together and whatnot. So the first thing is going to ask you what type of clash you want to put together. Are you doing a clash, hard clash, or you want to do the tolerance, or you want to do a clearance? Let's say you just do a regular clash detection, mechanical versus plumbing, mechanical versus structure. Like we go with hard clashes. If you want to, let's say, do the fireproofing for let's say mechanical versus the structure. So you need to go with the clearance. And let's say your clearance is a 2 inch. So you give that 2 inch and then run it based on the clearance. So these are kind of all the items that the different type that you have and its specific tolerance. And also if you go on it, exactly shows how is it that you kind of selecting all these different ones. with explanations. If the clearance is going to be above it, is going to be below it. You can see it exactly how it looks like. It's a very, very self-explanatory. You just need to go through them and understand it. Of different type, but I would recommend put everything on hard clash. If you looking specifically for something like fireproofing, right? Just go with the clearance, give that clearance, and go from there. So for here, we just named a test. So I'm gonna do MD versus arc walls. Let's say. I'm gonna go next. Right here, he's gonna ask me, okay, what do you want to look at? Type hard clashes, yes. Treat touching object as clash, yes. Treat objects inside other object as clash, yes. And then we kind of select elements, right? So we want to have those elements kind of hitting each other. We want to capture all of those. Go to the next one. It's basically asking to the sets, like, okay, right now, what do you want to clash against? And this is where I was kind of talking about we need to have exactly proper sets that we can use. So let's say right here, I want to do just a supply and return, and I'm going to do it against like a basic walls. I know this is, I just want to have the clashes just for the purpose of this training so we can get some clashes. But we know most of the mechanical duct and everything they have basically framed out area. They go through the walls. It's not going to be an actual clash, but right now I just want to because I thought this is going to be the better way to kind of show the clashes instead of just showing like one pipe versus duct and what more. So you guys see more clashes. It's going to give you a better understanding what the process is. So this is not an actual clash. We know it's a basic wall. It's going to be framed out, but I just just for the purpose of these training, let's just pick basic walls because it's going to give us a lot of clashes when the dog go through the walls. So this is we're good with this. Yes, we go to the next. So right here, if you have before clashes like this, somebody created a bunch of clashes, you can import all of those clash test settings and use it on all of them, right? So basically, it says select one. I want to say like I select this one. So if so, this is the one was selected for these prior clash tests. But if you want to create your own and change those, you can kind of select all of this, right? So you want to say I want to see the clash type, and I show you where this come to play later on. So you want to do the clash type, rules for ignoring clashes, and ignoring clashes, you're basically ignoring internal clashes for the models or stuff like that. Grouping, clash naming, tags for the your screenshot and views, automation rule, clash test, levels, red labels. So let's select all of this and then kind of move to the next one. So this is basically if you have prior clashes, somebody set it up, you can kind of use those and adjust. If it's not set up and you are the first one, you can select all of these and apply whatever you have basically to this. So after this, I come to the next area. This is what I was kind of talking about. So in terms of the clashes, it says, what do you want to ignore? I want to ignore the duplicate clashes. Ignore if both objects are in the same model. So let's say if you're getting a plumbing model and you have vent and sanitary and domestic water. So I don't want to run those clashes as one system. So that's based on the detailers to make sure those pipes are not going through each other. But if they are telling you, I'm going to give you different model for vent, different model for domestic water, different model for sanitary, then you have different model. You can clash them against each other. But I don't want to go through one model and find internal clashes for one model. And then right here, you can just say room objects, area objects, zone space. You can kind of identify all of those if you want. If there is anything inside those rooms, just avoid the clashes if hitting something inside those rooms. If there's going to be different zones, all of that. So, and then also right here, you can ignore objects that are in the search set. So if you have specific items uh, that you have in sets, you can basically select those because as soon as I click on this, it can open up the search set. So this is works for me when you have some sets that we call it hidden. It's like a bunch of lines, generic models, or something that is not important, let's say in your architectural model, and you want the clash detection or clash automation to ignore those. So if it's kind of hitting some generic model, you want to ignore all of that, you can select it right here. You can create a set for all of those hidden objects that must be hidden because it's just like a bunch of lines, bunch of masses that is not important. And then you can kind of basically put it over here. And if you want to add more condition, you'll be easily to add more condition. If you have the property value, we talk about the search sets, which is these, and any object A or B, there are specific different search sets. So if any of the object A and B, which is going to be the mechanical or architectural, any different objects that you want to search over here and put them and you use your find object, you have all of those as a set you can basically put over here. And that's going to help Revizto to ignore all of those as a clash. It's not going to give you active clash. You just ignore all of those and move forward. Next is grouping. So when you create a clash test, the clash test has bunch of groups because we want to group the clashes in a simple group, right? And then use those groups to review the clashes. And then right here, you can have like a bunch of them, right? You can select level. You can go to, let's say if you have an area, room number, we can do it per grid. You can add as many grouping as you want. So basically, it just kind of use that to put the clashes together. The proximity, you can edit any of this. So this one has a chain. You have a distance between the chained, and also you have a max chain size, right? So what is the distance between these two, and what's the distance between these two? So the distance between the grouping and the distance between the chain, right? So they have a different option that I like more, and that's regular. So I leave this on 50. So basically, every 50 feet, you just kind of put all the clashes together for me, and I can kind of review those. And this one works better than the chain for me, and I have a better understanding of working with this. And also, if you flash the whole building, you can use level. Also, you can change the priority of these grouping, right? I can kind of put this on top and say do it per level. And then let's say do it per grid, and then 50, and then let's say room. And if you want more, you can kind of see how all of these, and you can kind of combine all clashes into one group. You can add all of that. So let's just stick with this. And then right here, you can see the clash group name. It says element A versus element B. And also, you can kind of adjust them, right? Basically, you just kind of add these, and then you know what are these items. Like this is the group name, so I know it's going to be element A, B, like a level, grade, and room. So it's kind of basically show what is the name of those. Whoever is going to look at it, they know what is the priority for grouping these clashes. So after this, basically, this is going to be the issue tracker. So what basically we talk about, we know that we can create all of these clashes. And then what do you want to do? You want to send all of these clashes as an issue and assign it right away when you run it? Or you want to say, okay, which one you want to review or not reviewed or sync it at the same time? So leave it on the ask each time before it's synced because you need to go through the clashes and assign it per clash, right? Or if you feel like you have a workflow that whenever you review a clash, that's going to be assigned. So if it does that, select this one. But if you want to do it kind of more manually, just leave it on ask each time. So he's not going to send the clashes to every single person, right? Like whoever has a stamp attached to it. But if you say, okay, I want to review it in a meeting, when I select the status to reviewed, I want to use the stamp and assign it, right? So it's basically grab that group that you review it and assign it per the stamps. And then right here for these issues that we have, which is mechanical versus architectural, So let's say we already created our stamps, and there's going to be another video on the stamps that I want you guys to go back and look at it and understand how to create these stamps, because you see how it kind of come to play right here when you are working during the clashes and you're kind of getting a better understanding. So let's say I want to do mechanical. We're going to change any of those. It's going to be, let's say, major, the type, standard issues. The deadline, you can put weeks, or, we kind of went through all of this. You can do days, let's say put 10 days, apply. You can assign it to a person who's going to be your mechanical and who's going to be the watchers on this. Let's say your framer and your mechanical guy, and you're going to put them over here. And this is going to be the tag and under what package this issue has been shared. You can adjust all of these, like if you assign it to a different division, different package that you have in your company, you can assign all of those. This is for more organization and kind of getting more in detail to kind of grouping and organizing all of these items. So again, these are like a different ones. If you need more condition, you can kind of add more condition to it. But let's just stick with this for now. And I'm gonna leave it on ask each time before a sync. And when you're done with this, we're gonna add finish. So you guys can see right here my issue created right there, my kind of actual clash test, but I haven't run it, right? So it just everything shows 0. You can see the stamp right there. So let's just go through these little items on top a little bit, see, understand what it is. So this one is basically run the clash for me. So I selected that clash and I hit run, is gonna run it. This one right here, sync with the issue tracker, that one that we talked about. So if you wanna kind of send it to people, you'll be able to kind of see it and assign it to people. This one, run it and assign it at the same time, right? So if you select the option that it says reviewed and not reviewed, when you run the clash and then start reviewing him, so it's kind of automatically is going to sync it and assign it to people. So what I would suggest, to run the clash, see what's going on in your model, and you can assign it manually to people. So right here, these kind of more options. If you want to create a new clash, duplicate the same thing with all the actual like a settings and everything you have. You can delete them, export them. You can run a clash detection, sync it. So all of the stuff that are available right here, you can see basically right there. So this settings, when you turn it kind of on, gives you the settings for each clash test. So these are the items that we went through and we kind of created all of this, right? So this one, I want to kind of go over this real quick for you. And if you missed anything during your clash setup, don't worry about it. This is a place that you can kind of review it real quick. Make sure you're happy with all of these settings and go from there. So this one, just obvious. You can clash test. If you want to change the name, you can do it. This one is for the selections, like what we selected to kind of clash against each other. And if you want to make a change, you kind of click on this one. It goes bad. You can change your selection. Ignore clashes. We did talk about what needs to be ignored, kind of take you back over there. Clash type. We did talk about this hard clash. If you missed it, you can adjust it over here. This is going to be the grouping process that we talked about. So if right here, when you run a clash, you look at the clashes, you don't like it, you're not happy, you can come here and adjust the grouping for that clash test. Location tags. You can also look for all of this and see if there is anything that you want to do. Right? Let's say I want to do just levels on room, for example, or grid intersection, and then that's it. So I want to just tag those and see those. Views and screenshots. So views are the ones that you kind of create and screenshot at everything that you see. So this is important for you to see the clash. So this is where you are putting together and then setting this up to see how you want to see the clash. Um, Selection A and B, I always leave it on red and green. And for approve, you can, just follow the actual like a yellow to kind of say everybody these are resolved or approved. And whoever works in let's say resolve kind of marked as yellow. So that's going to be good to see. So the thing is, section box. So when you click on the clash group, basically put a box around that clash and you'll be able to see that area and what's going on. It's going to isolate it, give you a better understanding and view of what the issue is. So do you want to fit it to clash or do you want to fit it to level? So if you want to see the whole level, and the level coming from this architectural model, you can see it. But if you want to fit to a clash, you can select here. So this is a very important settings to basically see how you can view your clash. So if you want to see everything in boxes fit to clash, get close to it, or you want to see the level, and it's going to show you where the levels are. And then these box size, like what is this box size that you want to do, right? So I would say I would like to have it, let's say 50. So I have a bigger area. I can see what's going on, right? And then right here, I just want to check these box. Camera settings is going to tell you want to do it from the top, from the bottom, left. I will see it from the top. Vertical angle. This is going to be a little bit more in details, like how I want to see it, one angle. But this is the one that is kind of important. So this is basically showing you how you zoomed in or out on a clash. So if the more that you kind of closer to the left side, you are closer to the far side, like kind of shows zoom out, you're farther. So I would kind of leave it right here like a 2/3. It's good because if you're too close, it's gonna you don't see it. If it's too out, it's gonna be too far. I think like here 2/3 we should be fine and see it. Appearance profiler. This is where we kind of set it up. So these are the template that I created and then white, I kind of name it white because I selected everything white, but the clash. So basically, when I click on the clash, everything has to be white and transparent, so I can see still what's going on, but I only zoom on the clash. So this is white, and then I want to say isolate, or you want to do isolating transparency, and this is the two elements that hitting each other. I don't want these transparent. I want isolate everything in transparency, so I can see the everything around it, so I can make a correct decision and then also I just kind of look at this. And then when you get to the clashes, you can adjust all of these as well. You can see the different shape and everything around it. So if you want to see the grid, if you want to apply the section box, also these two options right here. So for your updating viewpoints and screenshot. So if you make any changes to this, you want to update apply all of these changes to all your screenshot and all your viewpoints. You select all, but only if you want to do some changes to for changed clashes or none, you can kind of select it over. So what I'm trying to do, I always leave it on all because if something doesn't make sense to me and I changes, I want that apply to all of them. But sometimes you need to kind of only create a specific view and you want to only change that one and make sure when you come here, you just select none. So you only adjust that clash and not affecting any other views that you have. But for now, leave it on all. Okay, so this is a very important. Pay attention to this box. Going down issue automation, we kind of talk about everything that we talk about. This is the issue stamp, and then assigning it to whoever it is. All the deadline and everything can be adjusted. Who has the right, right? So these are all the admins, and who has the right to kind of change these. And you can, when you go through the permission, you can add people to these clash detection. You can give them proper permission to see who can adjust it, who can kind of change the status and what. So labels, level models, labels. We talked about label and tags. Basically, give it more organized process. Level mode. This is kind of show what levels we're getting from for these. We're getting from the architectural model, and then grids, kind of showing like where it's coming from the grid. So these are kind of all the settings that you have, and you can see these settings gonna change based on each of these clashes. So if you have one settings for each and you have a template, you just import that template, you apply it to all your clashes. But if you want to change some of them, you'll be able to kind of adjust and save those. And then these three dots right here is basically these columns. So if you want to see the class status, issue tracker, access, who has access, what is the grouping, what is dissolve, what is new, not hold, like all of these, you can kind of turn these on and off. And if I kind of move these further, you'll be able to see like all of these tags, like what's assigned issues, kind of give you a little bit like a dashboard to give you what's going on with your clashes. And you can basically change these columns, right? Remove them or bring them back. So for now, let me just make it a little bit smaller so we can kind of see the state. So right here, I'm going to hit MD versus architectural walls. I'm happy with all the settings. We did talk about come to wrong clashes and hit wrong clashes. Okay. So right here, the clash has been done. And right now I'm into my clashes. You guys can see basically giving me the actual, let me just make these a little bit bigger. Kind of give me the name of it, just the total, everything active per one, the status, how many clashes. And again, right here, I can see all the settings for all of that. I want to take a look. If you want to adjust any of those, you still have it available over here. You'll be able to see you have some filters on top if you want to do it per group or per clashes. If you want to do like any of these that are available for you, you'll be able to do it, right? You can say like select per A, per B, and kind of give you the actual filter, and you'll be able to see all of those. So you have all of these filters also on top to kind of go through and filter it to see it better. So for now, I just want you to guys understand what we did. We set up a clash test. The clash test have a bunch of groups that we went through a process to set up these groups to make it more organized for us to review in the meeting and also assign it to whoever's responsible to address these clashes. Hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you like the content, make sure to subscribe and leave a like and put it in the comment section down below if you have gone through this process in terms of setting it up. If you see something different on your end or you have a different experience, please share it in the comment section down below. I'll go through it in the future videos if you put anything in the comment. Hope that you guys liked it. Make sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.